Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the SU-14-2, the school bus, the Tier 8 Soviet SPG, located on the south spawn of Abbey. It's under the command of talon1958, and yes, this is another episode in the contest to win the weekend lie-in. At the moment, Talon is in the lead. Game on. Well, Talon really enjoys playing the SU-14-2, and I'm not surprised really. It's actually got a powerful gun, the B4 howitzer, capable of doing 900 alpha and penetrating 52mm of armor. But one of the other better things about this Arty is the fact that because it's enclosed, it does actually have the use of vents, and vents means you can boost the performance of your crew tremendously. In fact, if you use vent and vent purge and you have a good crew to start with, then there's a very good chance that you might be able to get serious reload times, really good reload times. The standard reload for this RT is 42.19 seconds, and Talon's got a reload time of 32.52, so he actually has reduced it by 10 seconds, so that's quite effective. Nobody's actually come up the center yet. We did see a Panthera, the P-44, that was hiding behind the houses, but he hasn't decided to go into the Abbey. Oh, there is an enemy tank there at the other end of the road now, but we're going after the G-Saw. Oh, he got a direct hit. So he started off very well because he got a direct hit on the G-Saw. The surprising thing is that the G-Saw, well, there's two G-Saws on the enemy team, so it's not the one that we can see over to the left actually hadn't suffered any damage, but of course there was two, and we can see that VK4502A took a heat round to his nose, and now he's got an HE round. I don't think he'd be too happy about that. He raised his gun almost in salute to the rest of the team, and now he's out of the game. In fact, he was taken out by the Iron Army on our team. You notice Talon is relocating to avoid counter battery. This is one of those maps where it is possible to counter battery if you can guess where the enemy is hiding. Okay, looking for a target. Well, there's the G-Saw he hit, and in fact actually he is missing a sizable chunk of hit points. So he must have done some damage. There you can see the impact point. There it is on the side of the vehicle. He actually hit the side. So the thing is, G-Saws don't have much in the way of armor. So obviously there's a fairly good chance that he might have penetrated the guy. Now there's two RT on either team in this game. The other RT on our team is an M40 M43, and he's over to our east, or at the moment is over near the river road. Talon's now looking at an advancing G-Saw. That is the one he hit before, who's moving up very, very quickly. But the enemy team seems to be doing rather well in this corner. Rounds out. And now they're doing not so well. 175 hit points. He hit the same G-Saw as he did before. But our guys are actually falling back and they're taking damage. The enemy is pushing like mad on that side of the map. And the TS5 that we saw earlier in the game, who didn't go in the same direction as everyone else did, unfortunately is now the only tank on our team who's over that side. The good news is that our team seems to be doing rather well on the east side of the map, and of course in the center. So even though that TS5 is now falling back, you can see Talon is repositioning himself in such a way that he can still shoot at the enemy, even if he's actually, if they get close to the cap area. Now at the moment he's aiming for this SU-130PM up the other end of the map. These things got no armor, so they really are vulnerable. I have the feeling the SU-130PM moved a little further forward. Now we've got a Kampfpanzer 7 coming back from the Abbey to help. The TS5 is holding them off. In fact, actually, he's managed to push them back. And I'm wondering now if the enemy team is actually retreating back to their own camp because they realise that our team are about to invade their territory. Yeah, it does look like it. Somebody must have pressed the panic button. And oh, look at that. SU-14-2 lost a lot of hit points after Talon shot. So he must have landed the shell right next door to him. Even though he didn't get a direct hit, he got a splash. Unfortunately, that hit the rock face. You can see very difficult angle to get a shot there. It hit the rocks because of the trajectory. But the SU-14-2 goes down to our VK100-01P. And now we're aiming for the enemy tanks who are coming back to save their own cap. Now they're trying to engage our Iron Army, which of course, as you know, is a pattern tank by any other name. Rounds out in the TNH. Direct hits, 417 hit points. So even though Talon relocated, it's now almost not necessary for him to have been there, but in fact these guys are now trapped because they're cornered on all sides. The only way they're going to get out of that mess is to actually go over the side of the cliff and try and go around our guys. Yeah, you can see the TS5 trying to box them in from one direction. There's their Arty, or one of them. In fact, the only one left, and he's just gone. So there's only two left on the enemy team, the T-34-3 and this E-75TS. And I think they're both about to go. One of them has. E-75TS gets stunned and splashed. There's the M40, M43 on our team contributing. And the Kampfpanzer 7 comes in to try and get the kill. He doesn't get it, but the kill shot goes to the Iron Army, and that is game over. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was the third-class tanker for talon1958 in the SU-14-2. He managed to get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits, and in this game he managed to get 7. He also got a Confederate as well, because he didn't kill any of the enemy tanks, but he certainly hit a number of them and got enough to get a Confederate. That's 6 enemy vehicles that were damaged by him, but then taken out by other teammates. His win rate was very good. It was 1,678. Let's have a look at team score. Well, we can see on team score that the highest damage actually went to the E-75TS on the enemy team, 2,908 hit points of damage. Second highest damage was the Kampfpanzer 7 with 2,821. And the third highest damage was the VK100-01P with 2,670. And he picked up the Pascucci's medal because he must have killed both enemy Arty in the game. We can see that Talon managed to get 1,713 hit points of damage out of the game, which is not bad actually, because it puts him above all but 2 on the enemy team, and there were 4 above him on his own team, which means that he was in 7th place when it came to damage. When it came to kills, it was the VK100-01P who managed the best with 5, so he was just 1 short of getting that top gun, and 1/3 of the enemy team. 4 kills went to the Iron Army, and 2 kills went to the Kampfpanzer 7, I should say, and the T-103, and the only player on the enemy team who managed to get more than 1 kill was the Scorpion G. I'm afraid Talon didn't get any kills, but as I said, that actually contributed to him getting the Confederate, so that's a good move in that sense. Sometimes you can kill an enemy tank that's got very low hit points, and although you didn't intend to lose the medal, you do go ahead and lose the medal simply because you got a kill, and then you only got 5-1 or 6-1 instead of the 6-0 or 7-1 that you might have wanted for the Confederate. When it came to base XP, he's a little higher up the table because he's actually in 5th place, because the VK100-01P managed 1,189, 1,015 went to the Iron Army, 1,015, oh crumbs, they got the same, went to the Kampfpanzer 7, and well, we can see Talon managed 725. So 3 tanks got over 1,000 base in the game. So they were very good players. And of course, we can see that all 3 of them survived the game. So they did very well, did a lot of damage, managed to get the kills, and won the game very quickly. In fact, it was a very, very quick game. We look at the shots fired. We can see 8, 3 direct hits on the enemy, no penetrating shots. He didn't penetrate the G-Saw, but he got splash damage on 7. 1,713 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. Damage 6 to the enemy, didn't get any kills, but he got 648 hit points of stun assist of 7 stuns, and that's why he only got a 3rd class, because he really didn't get enough stun assist in that game to make up the difference. Now, he earned a profit, 67,228 credits from the game, and he also took away 2,175 experience points. I think we can look and see the SU-130 PM that he hit, that was the blind shot, 238, so the shell must have landed fairly close to him to actually do some nice damage. And the G-Saw he hit, the blind shot again, 499 hit points. Well, that's a very, very high non-penetrating shot. So yes, it probably hit the tracks. We saw that the shell actually did hit the side of the vehicle, and so yes, it probably stopped at the tracks, but it still badly damaged the G-Saw. And he can't have been too happy about that, getting smacked out of nowhere. In fact, actually, just recently, I was having a chat with Tragic Loss over on the NA server. And it appears that she actually also understands the situation, that it's actually revenge frustration. When a player in a tank actually gets hit by an Arty shell, they are frustrated because they can't fire back at the Arty. They don't know where the Arty is. In fact, they know that the Arty is somewhere off in the distance. And this is what actually generates animosity against Arty. That's the sole reason tank drivers don't like us. Not because we're firing at them, not because we're getting lots of hit points off them, but because they can't fire back when they get hit, because they don't know where we are. So this is the whole psychological reason. It's revenge frustration that actually causes people to hate Arty. Arty players themselves actually know all about this, because of course you know that once you do get spotted, people try to eliminate you immediately from the battlefield. But the other thing is, of course, you notice how much pleasure tank drivers do take when they do kill an Arty, and that's also part of the psychological makeup of this problem that they have, revenge frustration. It's perfectly well understood that that's what's going on here, that people cannot fire back at Arty. If you were in a tank and you were hit by another tank, you fire back at that tank. But you can't do that with Arty, and that's why people hate Arty. And it's wrong, because, you know, Arty's part of the game. In fact, it's actually a very big part of the game, simply because, as we know from current experience, there's an awful lot of Arty being used in conflicts to good effect. It does actually have a big effect upon a battle. So yes, interesting there, that huge amount of damage, nice result for Talon, but does it actually advance him in the game? No, because I'm afraid the best replay so far from the contest is that Talon managed to get a 2nd class and a Confederate. So he's still in the lead, even though he actually managed to get a 3rd class bruiser and a Confederate in this one. So unless, of course, his partner in crime, I was almost about to say, Angelina75, comes up with a replay that actually beats Talon's score. Now, she'd have to get either a 2nd class, a bruiser, and a Confederate and some other medal, or alternatively a 1st class, a bruiser and some medal, or even an ace tanker. If she gets an ace tanker, she wins the game outright, and Angelina's done that many times before. So I wouldn't put it past her to actually come back with an ace tanker at the last moment and beat Talon to the Weekend Lion, which is tomorrow morning, because this is Saturday morning when I'm recording this. And so it's very likely in the next 24 hours, Angelina's going to come up with something to counter Talon's lead. So he's going to enjoy this lead whilst he can, but it'll probably be very brief. If you enjoyed this replay, please give it a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below, because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.